Hello, my name is Sean McCarthy, and in this presentation I want to show you how to prepare your strategy for Horizon 2020. At the bottom of the first slide here you can see a website, H2020 strategy.htm, that I gave you on the course, and all the links that you need can be found here. Now basically what you're going to present, you're going to identify which funding opportunities exist. Now at the moment we're going to analyse Framework 7 and we're going to use that as a basis of identifying which topics in the programme are relevant to you. The next exercise you're going to do is you're going to identify the people who won the projects, who are the advisors to the projects, which European associations can you find these researchers, which conferences should you present at a European level. We're then going to briefly look at the lobbying process. Who are the advisors to the programs in your particular areas? And finally, then you're going to sign up to become an evaluator for Horizon 2020. Now, in the course, we show that the way things work in Brussels is the politicians and the Commission, they formulate something called policy, which is looking into the future, 2025, 2030, to identify what are the challenges that will face Europe in the future. They identify things like energy, health, security, all these areas, aging society, and then they decide, let's put money into aging research today so we're ready for these challenges in the future. Now the debate on Horizon 2020 started on the 30th of November 2011 and finishes in the middle of 2013. The European Commission then takes these guidelines, the budgets, how much will health get, how much will ICT get, and they'll write work programs, and then on the 1st of January 2014, the calls for proposals are published. Now during this process, scientists are consulted, and this we call lobbying. I prefer to call it participating in the decision-making process. So the first exercise you're going to do is Google Europa.eu and your topic. So I'll just use photonics as a case study. Google Europa.eu photonics and you'll see everywhere that photonics came up in the debate. So we'll start with Google Europa.eu photonics. Now another interesting one is to do Google Europa.eu photonics expert group or advisory group. And this will show you that if they've established a real set of advisors on the programs. The next one you look at is Google OECD photonics. The Economist is a good place to search because here you get a kind of a journalistic or political description of your area. So if you do Google economist.com photonics, you'll see a very good how this economists and politicians talk about your particular area. Foresight. This is a very popular procedure to identify where to put the funding in the future. So you could do Google Europa.eu Foresight photonics and you'll see the different groups that are working on advising the Commission in these areas. Now the European Commission has its own Foresight division. It's called the Institute for Prospective Technological Studies, which is based in Seville. And what you do there is Google www.jsrc.es and then photonics. And if there's any report published in that area, you can read it. So in the presentation, you're actually going to say what you found in your particular area. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to analyse the projects funded in Framework 7. There were about 20,000 projects funded. So you might take photonics, for example, and find which parts of the cooperation programme could it be found. Then you might do photonics people, photonics FET, and photonics ERC. And when you're doing the search, do it in the general search area. In other words, you type in ERC photonics and you get a better search hit. And the website you'll find on the website that I showed you at the beginning. Now, ARENETs, this is where a number of member states come together to combine their funding. And I want you to tell me which ARENET program is relevant to you. And I give you the website you will find on the course website. Now let's look at this whole area of lobbying. When the Commission is formulating policy and writing the programs, they consult industry through the technology platforms. And I want you to tell me which, if any, of the platforms are relevant to you. Which of the kits, which I described on the course, which of the European Innovation Partnerships, which of the cost actions, and also which of the ARNets and joint programming initiatives. I also want you to check the European Research Associations. Check the expert advisory groups, which we mentioned already, the Foresight studies. And when you're checking Framework 7, check out for something called coordination and support actions. These are studies that are funded in Framework 7, and they're usually relating to some topic that's coming up in the future. So I'd be interested in seeing what CSA's coordination and support actions that you find. Now, when you're finished that, you then will have to tell me who are the people in your country that support you in Framework 7. Now, at European level, most countries have an office. You'll find a network called the IGLO, IGLO. And so France has an office, Germany has an office, Ireland has an office, Finland has an office. So I want you to tell me who's the contact person in the office and what services do they provide. You'll tell me about the sector associations. At national level, there are national contact points, and these are the people that support the individual programs like ICT and health. And there are also people called national delegates, and these are the people that represent the program. So when a new work program is prepared, the national delegates are consulted. Now, sometimes they're the same as the national contact points, but it's a little bit of an exercise to find out who exactly are these people. Now, in Framework 7, there were people called advisory groups to the individual programs. And on the web page, you'll actually see these. And I'd like you to tell me who's the person in your country that was a member of the advisory groups. So that's it. I look forward to seeing your presentations. And if you have any question, simply send me an email here, which you see here, which you also saw on the cover of the notes that I gave you. So best of luck, and I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what you present. Thank you for the moment. Bye-bye.